This student, I want to remind his mother, before, just at the time of his Form 1 registration and orientation, his mother said to me, "Mr. DeGale, you feel look good? Well, this one that come in, different." And well, he has proved his mother right. This student in Form 1 participated in 2 inter-school swim meets competitively. In a triathlon, from Forms 1 to 3, in under 13 and under 14 levels, he was a goalkeeper. He was part of Go Bag 7 Reflections. He served in the senior choir, and from Go Bag 8 to 11, and then we would have 12 and 13. Music Festival champions in 2018 and 2020, just before our lockdown. As I mentioned earlier, this young man was the group president for the Form 4 Young Leaders Project under the theme Mental Health Matters. This young man journeyed as a winner of the Make a Difference Award to We Day in Canada. He is part of the college band from Forms 3 to 5. He was part of the Senior Pan Ensemble. He has been part of the Mystical Rose Prayer Group. He has been part of the String Ensemble. He has been part of the AV Club as a photographer. As I mentioned earlier, it is our expectation that this young man in the future will be the recipient of an open scholarship and President's Medal. Please welcome to the podium our valedictorian for the class of 2020, Master Adam Bartholomew.
Father Gregory, Mr. and Mrs. Ramdas, Mr. and Mrs. DeGale, teachers, parents, guardians, relatives, my friends, good evening. I began to envision our graduation, arriving at the Hilton Hotel with our dates, walking down the long corridor to the ballroom dressed in suit and tie to meet our Fatima family, all of you. I never anticipated this pandemic and how it would change our lives. And while we cannot be together in person, through technology, we have gathered to celebrate these past 5 years at Fatima College. In 2015, we entered the school, having the awesome privilege of brand new smartboards and air conditioning in every single classroom, along with a newly built Form 6 block. And although we came from far and wide, we began to mesh as brothers in gray shirts and khaki pants. At our Form 1 orientation, we were nothing more than strangers, and it's beautiful to see how we've become what will be lifelong friends. In preparation for today, I gave my fellow graduates an online survey asking what Fatima has meant to them. The most popular answers were 1, family, 2, growth, and 3, home. When I think of Form 1, my mind takes me back to that party Mr. Cooper had organized for us on the last day of our Christmas exams. We gathered in the hall and exchanged secret Santa gifts before heading across to the court and field to sweat. That for me, after a hectic first term, was really the first time that I got to know the characters of our year group. And we've only grown exponentially closer since. For at Fatima, there's so much that binds us inextricably together, not only as a form, but with everyone else in the school. Indeed, we unify as brothers here, regardless of age or background, and we are certainly a family. One of the significant changes in coming into secondary school was a big increase in the number of teachers. Yet, in having so many teachers with their various styles and idiosyncrasies, one thing remains constant, and that is their genuine love, care, and respect for us all. But they were not just concerned with how well we did in math, Spanish, POA, and biology, but were also aware and so supportive of whom we were as individuals and where our other interests lay. Music, for example, has been my passion and that of many others. The annual Gifts of Blue and Gold concert has fostered our love of music and courage in performance over the years. In music, like all the disciplines, we have been blessed to have student role models throughout the course of our journey here at Fatima. Perhaps most notably was Daniel Roberts, who we all remember as Deputy Head Prefect when we were in Form 1. He seemed to live in his own musical bubble, yet, whether he knew it or not, he was a huge inspiration. He was just one of so many students in one of so many spheres who inspired us to do what we love. And I think it is our duty to inspire others through our love for what we do, as it is this inspiration which keeps passion alive. Indeed, there has been so much provided to us to ensure that we develop holistically. With God as the central focus of our school, we have been continually reminded of His Spirit in our presence. And we can't expect anything less, being students of this college, founded 75 years ago by the Holy Ghost Fathers, and led currently by Father Gregory, a Spiriton himself and moral compass to us all. Very rarely would you find a school principal who has gained the love and respect of every single student. We can all agree that Form 2 Religion with Father Gregory was one of our favorite classes. This is when we really got to know our principal and his humor, as he chopped our heads, took our pens, and made us clean up the debris while the classroom filled with laughter. Yet, we will always remember the lessons he has taught us in faith, life, and leadership, and his warmth and humility will never be forgotten. He has helped us to understand that our spirituality extends beyond our prayers and into the way we live our lives as moral, kind-hearted individuals. Our identity is sculpted by the fact that God is our guide, enabling us to recognize that each of us has a unique purpose, and that only by being fearless and true to ourselves can we fulfill this purpose in life. Fatima has ensured that we grow into well-rounded young men. So, we are a family, we have grown, and it is these very things which make Fatima a home. Now, I think it's impossible for us to truly understand the role of our parents or guardians and appreciate all that they are and all that they do without being parents ourselves. It's obvious. We would be no one or nowhere without our parents. Needless to say that we would not have attended this college. And so, there really is no Fatima without our parents. And so on this, our graduation night, I want to say a special thank you on behalf of all of us to our parents and guardians. Yes, We have so much to be grateful for, yet we so often forget, and it takes us losing something to appreciate it. It's like on the 13th of March, when it was announced that we would not be returning to school because of our first case of COVID-19 here in Trinidad and Tobago. Being locked down and taken out of school has allowed us to be far more grateful for it than ever before, as we can now understand how life is without it. In school, or anywhere really, we love to complain about petty things. But what this time has helped me to realize is that while an institution or system may not be perfect, there's so much beauty to see in it, and that imperfections are simply opportunities to improve. Likewise, as individuals, we need to embrace the fact that we are not perfect, and in so doing, we will allow ourselves to recognize our potential of becoming excellent. For instance, I know that our current under-20 football team is excellent. They were humbled through our relegation to the second division 2 years ago. But through striving last year, the new team has earned their place back in the first division, rediscovering their potential and what they must do to reach it. And so I have no doubt that next year, when football hopefully resumes, we will strive and conquer. For all of us, we have had this time to reflect and think about our lives. And I feel hopeful that we will find a renewed sense of purpose and fire within ourselves as we move forward, despite these unprecedented times. We don't have to wait to lose something to be grateful. We don't have to be humiliated to be humble. And we don't have to be the best in order to inspire, for you don't know who you're inspiring while simply striving. While we can't be with each other in person, 2020 is engraved on our rings, and Fatima on our hearts. So as Fatima, class of 2020, may we never forget this year, these past 5 years, and each other. May we always be loving, grateful, humble, and continue to strive and conquer. Thank you. Good night.